Okay, my question is to Sage. Do you feel like it's, after all these years of fighting to get into Bafana, I'm sure you're emotional seeing this stadium here as well, where I think it all started for you in the professional ranks. How does it feel to be sitting here at Dobson or being in the Bafana squad?
Most certainly, it's been a week for me. Just excuse the congestion. It's been a week for me, an emotional week, spending it with loved ones and family. Funny enough that the path has led me to the stadium where it all starts. If I had to script it myself, I don't think I would have scripted it any better to make my first, call up at the stadium where I played my first football game for the team that I played my first game for. So very blessed and very honored to have this privilege.
What was your reaction when you saw your name in World Cup Fest spoke of?
First person I spoke to was my wife. Reaction, I couldn't believe it. Funny enough, as I said before in my interviews before, I said the same thing, like I can only control my performances. And ultimately the decision lies with the coach. And as we all respect, the coach has done a magnificent job. And when I saw my name there for the first time officially, I was very emotional. I don't want to say it aloud, but I had to choke back a few tears, because it's a very special moment for me. It's a big achievement for me personally, and I'm just so grateful for it.
Once again, we saw the relationship that you have with the coach. He trusts you, he loves you, puts an arm around your shoulder. Up at AFCON as well, he did the same. When you've got a coach like this who really believes in you and your abilities, what does it do to you, and how would you like to repay him when his tenure is done from now until he ends?
The only thing I can say, you don't want to disappoint such a person who have faith on you. So the only thing you have to do for him is just to push. When he gives you a chance, you just have to work for him. Do whatever you have to do. Yeah.
Mandla from Data Media. My question for you, Sage. What does this do? I mean, you call up to the national team. What does it do for other youngsters? It's talent for sure, goalkeepers. What does this mean for them?
Look, to have your first call up at the age of 33, for me it's an incredible feat. Only thing I would like to say is that it's never over until you decide it's over. Ultimately, everyone's got their own journey to follow and their own path to lead. And the only thing I can say is never to give up. If it happened for me at the age of 33, anything is possible for any youngster at any club in the league or, let's say, around the world. It's just to continue working hard and believing in yourself.
So maybe just as a follow-up to what the colleagues have already asked about, you are saying that you're 33 now and you're the first to call up and all that. Just the sacrifices and the hard work that you have to go through. Nobody, no hope of ever making to a national team. What keeps you going when obviously you play for a club and you're making a living, but what keeps you going to push to play for the country?
I think for me personally, the only thing that kept me going was the belief in myself, ultimately. Because one thing about football is, coaches, they come and go at your club level, and that's something you have to deal with. But ultimately, it's the belief that you have in yourself that determines how far you're going to go in this sport. And I think, to answer your question, that's the only thing that kept me going all these years, from club to club, not being viewed as the number one, and eventually, finding the place Stellenbosch where now, people can see and view me in a different light. Hence, I'm sitting where I'm sitting today.
Great. No more questions. Evidence. Just your journey since AFCON. I think after AFCON, if I'm not mistaken, you had a bit of an injury. Mabasa was doing well. I
think you came back and you had to like start games from the bench before now where you're back in the starting lineup and scoring goals. Just that journey since AFCON, how has that been for you? And now being back in the national team and seeing how much the coach values you.
For me, I knew it's gonna be tough. Always when you have injury, so it's tough. Mentally can affect you, but you have to be strong at some point. For me, I'm glad when I came back, I had a place to start on the bench because it's tough also in my team to be on a bench, truly speaking. So I can say I'm fortunate enough I managed to come back. So even now I knew if I can play, maybe I can make my way back to Bafana. So it's good to be.
Final question, just we need to get to training.
Okay, no, it's fine. I'll give it to TT.
Mazola was before TT.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My question is to Sage. The coach mentioned that if you win away at Uganda, you might maybe still rotate to celebrate in Cape Town. I'm sure more than most, you are chomping at the bit to have an opportunity to make a big benefits to come off the bench. Played it over and over in your head what that would be like, and also to do it in the Western Cape where you play your club football.
Funny enough, first things first, being here is one step for me. I've got a lot to learn at this level. So coming into the camp, the only thing I can do is trying to learn as much as possible. There's also experience as much as possible. If that were the case, ultimately, Coach Hugo's got the decision on team selection. And me personally, I have to give credit to Ronwin. Honestly, he's the big dog here. And rightfully so, he's done the bits on the field, so respect to him. But I'm just here to play my part, to do the best of my ability, to learn as much as possible. And if that day were to come in Cape Town or any other day, then I'd have to stand up and be present.
All right, guys, we'll have training here from 4 o'clock. First 15 minutes.